God damn it, I'm so sick of these mindless Hollywood summer blockbuster action franchises. They've made like fucking 10 of these movies that only seem to get stupider and stupider. First it's like actual street racing, then it's some homoerotic romance film. Now they're in Japan, and fast forward to the new ones that are just incomprehensible. They're in space shooting lasers and defying the laws of physics and resurrecting Paul Walker. What the fuck? Now they can't even get the name of their movies right. This new one is just called The Furious. What's the next one gonna be called then? The Fast? That's stupid. Fuck you, Vin Diesel. I hate Corona beer and muscle cars anyway, dipshit. Oh wait, this isn't a new Fast and Furious movie? Oh, it's still an action movie though? It can't be that fucking good. Holy shit, The Furious is one of the best action movies I've seen in a long time. In a world that is plagued by big budget action slop, it is refreshing to see a film made for 3 to 4 times cheaper be infinitely more entertaining and fun. For those who aren't a stranger to Asian action cinema, this movie is in the same vein as martial arts films like The Raid and The Night Comes For Us. It even stars Joe Taslim as well, who is one of the most talented action stars alive. I urge everyone to dip their toes in this subgenre of action movies that are so brutal and relentless they make Die Hard look like Toy Story. As for those who are unfamiliar with the genre, just think of these movies as a grittier John Wick with a heavier emphasis on martial arts than guns. The choreography is just as good and the result is equally adrenaline fueled. But before I continue glazing this movie, unfortunately I have to be completely objective and admit that one aspect of this film really holds it back. I highly recommend this film to any action lover, and it's seriously one of the best theatre experiences I had this year. But the dialogue is unforgivably ass cheeks. I have no idea why the bulk of this film is in English when it clearly isn't the native tongue of these actors. It's set in fucking Thailand or something, and yet the local police speak English. As you can imagine, the delivery and writing of the English lines are incredibly unnatural and only serve to take you out of the intensity. They even go out of their way to speak English when it doesn't make sense. There's this dude dressed like Lil Drop Top who speaks Thai the entire movie, and suddenly he busts out English during the climactic fight. Just why? I get that it makes it more accessible, but the trade-off quality for accessibility is just questionable. I guess to add on to my criticism, there's a lot of plot holes and illogical moments. There's this immovable object of a character that somehow gets pushed over by a starving kid. The main characters somehow understand each other perfectly, even though one is literally mute and the other doesn't know shit about sign language. It's obviously not very realistic. In fact, it can get pretty goofy. But in response, I wish they had made it a tad bit more self-aware. Also, the editing can be kind of odd, especially when they abruptly cut right after a character delivers bad English dialogue, which happens at least 3 times in the movie. Okay, complaints over. Now let me pull out the Merriam-Webster to find new adjectives to glaze this film. The action in this movie is rip-roaring, exhilarating, boisterous, and heart-stopping. The set pieces and villains are amazing. You have this big bald behemoth and this masterpiece of a fight scene that takes place in a freezer. They fight around these people frozen in ice that get obliterated by a sledgehammer and get shattered to pieces. They hit each other on the head and it looks like Looney Tunes or something. Then you have Lil Drop Top with his bow and kukri, absolutely ruthless, just piling arrows into some guy's body. And then out of nowhere, this classy, handsome young dude becomes a fucking cannibal and goes ape shit as well. I just love how intense and brutal the violence is. There's a scene where the main character creates this tower of bodies while wielding a hammer. He drives a motorcycle into a corridor of people. Then Joe Taslim joins in and beats the living shit out of people in a police station. The film is very well paced. There's not a single moment where you feel bored or like the story is getting in the way of the action. It's a buffet of ridiculously well choreographed fight scenes that only increase in elaborateness and scale. They also don't give a fuck about kids in this movie. I guess it's a minor spoiler, but they execute a kid in the first 3 minutes of the film. It's great. They ragdoll these kids and give them no plot armor at all, which adds a huge sense of legitimacy to the threat of this trafficking ring. It also really empowers the audience to fucking despise these people, as well as enrage the main characters to kick their fucking ass. There's a scene where one bad guy unnecessarily rage baits Joe Taslim just to give him one big spur of energy to beat this guy into oblivion. There's another moment where they zoom in on every character's ferocious eyes before a big battle. Then the music swells and this awesome rock score plays. It's so good at energizing the audience and getting you into that zone where even you start to feel like you can fight anybody. Then you leave the theatre and get folded by 3 school kids with smiggle wallets. The Furious is a masterclass in modern martial arts films. Kenji Tanigaki and his crew have worked tirelessly, delicately crafting these intricate fight scenes to be as fluid and as clear as possible. And for what it's worth, it's paid off. It is a non-stop cavalcade of unbridled fury, and it is one of the most entertaining films of the year. I hope this movie is successful enough to get a sequel, because we desperately need more of these movies. I give this movie an 8 out of 10. Please go watch this right now, I beg you, please.